Welcome to The Focus with Javon Adams. My name is Javon Adams. You can call me Jay or J Love. I do this thing 3 times a week. Make sure to tell a friend, like, share, subscribe, rate as high as you can. Let me know your thoughts. FocusNowTalk.com. FocusNowTalk.com. Today, possibly a little bit shorter than it has been the last couple of weeks, but bear with me for a moment. When I was attending school at, as I like to say, the San Jose State University for my undergrad, I ended up taking a class, and if anybody who's gone through the university system know that sometimes you have those classes where there are where one class can fill multiple requirements. So one of those was a music class, so I decided to take jazz, and I really had no interest in jazz at the time, and so I went in with kind of an open mind, but I figured that, hey, I'll be able to get an A in this class and be able to keep it moving. But what ended up happening as a result of that class, an interest, I was going to say a love, but an interest in jazz music resulted from that. One of the part of the syllabus was listening, of course, to a lot of different jazz pieces or reading about different jazz musicians. And one of those albums was the Miles Davis Kind of Blue album. And there is a song on there, and that jazz album is one of my favorites, and that's probably, it's interesting because I'm for those who don't know, I'm into music, so jlovemusic.com, but I do music, so I'm an MC, and sometimes if somebody says to me, for example, I am, let's say, it could, regardless of what the genre is, let's say you're an avid fan of whatever genre that might be, in case myself, hip hop. If somebody comes and says, for example, here's a great example, MC Hammer. So MC Hammer, that his Let's Get It Started album, really great album. The energy there, he's yelling on that album quite a bit, almost akin to the Run DMC kind of model of sorts. But I think that's a really good album. But a lot of people will come in and say, "Hey, I really like that. I really like the album. What am I thinking of? Where he had the turn this mother out. Where he had the biggest selling project that he had, where Too Legit to Quit, or the one right before that one. So that's probably where a lot of people will say, I'm a Hammer fan. I like MC Hammer. That's the album that turned me on. So maybe my mentioning Miles Davis Kind of Blue is probably similar to that. So I acknowledge that. Having said that, there's a song on that album. It's called "So What," and that's what this episode is about. So what? What do you mean by that? So what? So many times we get into our heads, and oftentimes it's so what? So what in the sense of, so what you're scared? Do it anyway. So what you are letting you've lost the motivation today to work towards your goal. Well, that's where, so what? Let the discipline, or let your schedule, your routine, your habits fill the void and continue to move on. So what? So what you're tired today. Maybe your kids are doing something. They're participating in some school function, or maybe in some activity, and you're just tired and you're worn down today. So what? Go to that activity, because it means more for them that you're there, and when you get there, you'll feel a lot better for having gone through it. So what? Your job laid you off, and it definitely impacts you. But so what? How you want to just curl up in a ball and not move. So what? Let's move forward and not let inactivity or let inertia be what becomes the theme for the day, the week, the month, the year. So what? So what? These things are going on because the outside world really doesn't care. And if we're going to let those negative things, the safety mechanism in your brain that tries to tell you to not take that risk or take that chance, So what? You got to push through it. Push through it. Push through it. Push through it. So what? Similar to that Miles Davis song where it's so what? You have to continue to move through. And oftentimes when I'm saying these things, I'm saying it to you, whoever's listening, hopefully a lot of people, but I'm also saying it to myself. So sometimes those where I don't feel like trying to brainstorm and be creative and write for this next musical project that I'm working on, and I'm thinking, nah, not today. No. So what? Maybe I don't write something today, but I spend the time to try to be creative and get into that mindset to be able to take advantage, jot notes down, to be creative, because that's what's going to help me, if not today, tomorrow, or the next day, or the next week, or the next month. So, because there's so many things that are negative that we can lean into, and then before we know it, we've all done it. We've all gone down that rabbit hole of Instagram or Twitter or whatever social media, or you're just watching TV aimlessly. And before you know it, an hour has passed. Well, maybe not an hour, maybe 30 minutes, maybe for some an hour, maybe more time than you wish that you had taken. But either before you realize that that's happening, or once you do realize that's happening, so what? So what if you spent the last 30 minutes and you're thinking, well, this hour has gone by, or most of my work day has gone by. No. So what? I can't change that, but what I can do is I can change it moving forward. So let that discipline, let those habits, remember what it is that you want to do, what it is you want to become, the skills, the habits that you want to embody, that, again, as I've said before, not only help you, but can help somebody else that sees what you're doing. There was an event at my church this weekend that I wasn't able to attend because of the radio show, but one of the organizer for this particular event, it's an annual event that's really for the members of the church, really teaching different things, whether it's mental health, wealth, how to be able to work better in your family setting, various things that can help not only from a religious standpoint, but also from just a human standpoint to help you to be a better person. And so this person that organized this, she did a great job. And when you're trying to bring multiple speakers in to be able to try to share what you hope will be valuable information, you're hoping that people will come and to attend. There's so many different moving parts that come into play, and it can be overwhelming, right? But so what? So what if it's overwhelming? If your reason, or if your motivation, your desire for doing this is greater than those things that are trying to prevent you from moving forward, that's a great thing. And so what I said was, the things that you're doing, if you don't come through with those, if you don't bring them to fruition, it could be not just you that feels a lack of satisfaction or a lack of completion, but also other people that may be impacted. And there were, from what I was told, there were so many people that had value, that drew value from those speakers and from those different classes or seminars. And so that's what it comes down to. So what? So what? Push through, because you'll learn as you push through. You may help other people as you push through, and you'll benefit also as you push through. And there's nothing wrong with a little bit of selfishness that comes with that. So maybe today you listen to that Miles Davis Kind of Blue album. When you come across that song, So What, maybe you'll think about it. So next time that you have these obstacles that are coming up, say so what, and you push through, or you navigate through them. So again, do this thing 3 times a week. My name is Javon Adams. You can call me J or J Love. Share with a friend. Tell a friend. I do appreciate it. It does help. And also go to focusnowtalk.com. I'll continue to be working on it to be able to upgrade and get to the next level. If it's not where I want it to be right now, so what? It'll get there, and I'll keep on working on it. So until next time, as I always like to say around this time, you can.